What is going on? Thank you for checking out the channel. It's me, Joe Schmo, and I have some pretty interesting stuff to talk about today. Many of you, especially tech enthusiasts, are probably familiar with wildly famous popular YouTuber Linus Sebastian, otherwise known as Linus Tech Tips. Now at this point, Linus has a couple of different channels, but his main channel, Linus Tech Tips, has a total subscriber base of 15.6 million subscribers, and the overall brand really is they review tech. And, you know, a lot of that involves informing people of what they're going to buy, you know, informing the public, you know, unbiasedly on products, you know, so your hard-earned money goes to the right place. And it turns out he's been fucking up, all right? The brand has been tainted a little bit recently. So Linus is a huge brand. He makes a lot of money, and he sticks a lot of it back into his content. He sticks a lot of it back into his channels. And I'm using Linus to refer to all of the companies and channels because, after all, he is the face of all of the above. So recently, they've been expanding quite a lot, and I am a fan of Linus Tech Tips. I watch a lot of his stuff. I find it difficult to watch all of it because he uploads a lot throughout all his channels, and that's part of the problem, but we'll get into that a little bit more later. So with the expanding, you know, he's a YouTuber. He's making content out of it. They had a tour of one of the labs where they test products, and this clip, I didn't even know this happened, but this clip got a lot of attention online.
The difference between us and somebody like Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed is we test new components, new tests every time.
So clearly a bit of arrogance going on with the Linus Tech Tips team there in the lab. In my opinion, that's very unprofessional in the ecosystem they exist in, you know, with the tech community online, to actively call out other tech YouTubers that are admittedly less successful than him and explain why, you know, they're better because they test things better. Honestly, that to me was them actually taking a jab at the integrity of test results and reviews from other channels, which is fucked up and completely unnecessary and ironic because these channels that were called out were not about to leave this setting down, okay? They bounced back. And they were quick to point out the pure hypocrisy of claiming that their test results at Linus Tech Tips were more authentic and accurate than other channels on YouTube. Hardware Unboxed being the first to respond on Twitter by saying, "Oh no, a bit of a big oof moment. LTT Labs taking shots. I've rerun more benchmarks than Linus has spent money on testing equipment and staff." That first tweet obviously just being a rebuttal, a defense to Linus's video there, you know, whether Linus was trying to do it or not, discrediting Hardware Unboxed, you know, which them going on the defense is completely reasonable. This is their business. This is what they do for a living. And whether it was meant to do this or not, anyone who watched that video would obviously then, you know, think, wow, you know, I better just not watch Hardware Unboxed because, you know, their test results are not as accurate as Linus's. I better just go watch Linus, which is bullshit. And they don't just stay on the defense. They then take the offensive position when they tweet. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, LTT Labs should look to refine their data, not throw it out and end up with more results that often don't make sense. Not to be salty, but we've all seen it way more than we should. Linus then responded to this criticism on his podcast, The WAN Show, with, in my opinion, a pretty hypocritical take on the criticism. I'm just going to play that sliced up for your convenience right now.
Of people that are talking about the whole Trust Me Bro situation, where there were some creators that it seems like you guys are, look, it's pretty clear that not everyone in the creator space handled that super professionally. I don't obviously agree with some of the takes that were out there.
I got to stop him right there because it wasn't professional for these people whose businesses are the same as yours in some aspects of what you do to review tech and give reviews of tech through testing and in-depth analysis, for you to discredit them and their way of life, attacking their income, for them to defend themselves publicly after your team defamed them publicly. That was professional, but them defending themselves wasn't. That's fucking crazy. Fuck you, man. Wow.
I don't think that it's particularly journalistic, for example, to ignore facts.
Do you understand how crazy of a statement that was? Linus doesn't think it was journalistic to ignore facts. What was the fact? The fact that you have the best results, and if by you having the best results would mean that the people that you mentioned by name do not have the best results, which anything other than the best results would be inaccurate results. So you're calling other tech YouTubers, YouTube channels that review tech, that's their livelihood, that's how they make money, you're calling them unjournalistic for defending themselves when your team went out of their way to by name call them out and saying that their stats were not accurate. What the? That is a fucking insane thing to say. That is an insane thing to say. Holy shit. And it gets way worse because the last clip here from this podcast that I'm going to show you, in my opinion, the way I perceived it, was pretty much just Linus saying, hey, you know, we have personal relationships and you know who I am. So you should have just let my team say what they said and just taken it up the ass. You should have just let my company and my team fuck you in your asshole because I'm Linus and you know me. So fuck you, okay? You suck. I'm top dog.
To ignore personal relationships.
Now that was a lot of build up to such a short clip, but what more do you need to see? To ignore personal relationships. What do you mean? Like, just because I know you just because I know you means you can go and say fucked up shit about me that's gonna hurt me and my business and my company, and I'm supposed to just bend over for you because I know you? I'm not supposed to defend myself because I know you? Because we have a personal relationship? Come on, man. Now, the other YouTube channel, Gamer Nexus, was the next to respond to Linus's team's comments and the whole drama going on right now. And it's a very detailed video that goes over, you know, how to test things, where Linus's team has made mistakes in the past, how frequently they've began to make mistakes since they've started producing more videos. And it's a really great video, and you should definitely go watch it after this. If anything, the goal of this video should be for you to go watch Gamer Nexus's video on their channel. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Now, a lot of the video is them pointing out how Linus has a history, and his channel at least has a history of incorrectly testing things and acknowledging it, but not acknowledging it to a meaningful capacity. I do not have the technical expertise to go over this, and honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it justice any better than Gamer Nexus did. So for those results, for those findings, for those explanations, please go watch that video. But there are also ethical dilemmas that have been brought up that I am able to give my opinion on, and I would really love to share with you still. I don't want this video to be too long. I just want it to be a summary to really encourage you to go watch Gamer Nexus's video. But there is one that was so egregious to me and fucked up that I have to go over it. I have to show you this and give my take. So this story begins with Linus and his team reviewing a water block by a new company by the name of Billet Labs. And basically, Gamer Nexus will go over this better in the video if you choose to watch it. They incorrectly tested the water block and then adamantly defended their inability to properly test this product, while also giving it a terrible review, even going as far as to say nobody should buy this product. Extremely harmful and extremely damaging to a new company when, debatably by my opinion, not so debatably it seems by Gamer Nexus, the reason they got such poor results with this water block is because they were incompetent in testing it. This also wasn't just any old water block. It turns out that this water block being tested by Linus was extremely important to the company, I guess. It was one of their first prototypes to this new company. And I guess what ended up happening is, with no permission from this company, and with the company, for some reason, I did not get the messages, but the company being under the assumption that Linus and his team were going to send this water block back to them, it being a new prototype for their company that they are just starting, Linus decided with his team to auction this prototyped water block off, which obviously that opens up the door for it to be scalped by a competitor, to be taken by a competitor. All of this money and research to make this water block gone, the prototype gone, which now leaves the company down a major prototype that they will have to reproduce. And also the prototype that was produced is now lost to who knows who. So now some other company can just steal all of their hard work because Linus negligently, allegedly, decided to auction this prototype cooler off, which is really, really, really fucking bad if that's what happens, and is ethically fucked if Linus and his team were aware of the situation when auctioning it off. So please go watch Gamer Nexus's video on this for more information on that and just more information on this issue with Linus Tech Tips and the whole controversy in general. But yeah, I wanted to do my part. I found this to be disgusting, and it really, really is disappointing. Linus Tech Tips is like my gamer daddy. He's like my everything I know about computers. I think it started off with Linus Tech Tips, you know, his tutorials on how to build things, his benchmarks, and you know, him deciding to produce quantity over quality with his channel is super disappointing. And there's just a lot you'll see in that video that is just really, really disappointing to see out of Linus's team and him, and the way Linus has overall handled this situation is extremely disappointing. So yeah, you know, it's been me, Joe Schmo. I guess, like always, like, subscribe, comment, please. Join the Discord, whatever. I'll probably go live later. Thank you for watching. Please go check out Gamer Nexus's video. Bye.